We are going to be studying prenatal development, infancy and childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. We will be studying the different theories. We will also study nature and nurture. Life is sexually transmitted. The sperm penetrates the egg. Chromosomes are a long, thread-like structure of twisted parallel strands of DNA found in the cell nucleus. Genes are a unit of DNA on a chromosome that encodes the instruction for making a particular protein molecule, the basic unit of heredity. Heredity is when genes transfer characteristics from parents. Environment includes your surroundings, from what you eat to your peer group. Genes are a unit of DNA on a chromosome that encodes instructions for making a particular protein molecule, the basic unit of heredity. Epigenetic can block gene suppression. Zygote is a fertilized egg. Embryo occurs after 2 weeks. Fetus is after 9 weeks. At 40 days, you can see the spine. Monozygotic twins come from the same egg. Dizygotic twins come from one egg that separates into 2. Prenatal development is not free. 1 in 5 boys are born with autism. 1 in 75 girls are. Tetrogens can cause problems for the unborn child. Newborns are born with the ability to latch onto the mother's breast and feed. Their temperament is biological. Newborns are born with the preference to look at faces. We are born with the innate desire to respond to our infant's desire to eat. Maturation is our orderly growth pattern. Nature versus nurture is a hot topic. How do they interplay? What we learn changes our brain. If a child is abused, it has an effect on brain development. Rats in enriched environments developed more cerebral cortex. Motor skills are guided by genes. There is a specific period of development of each motor skill. Some children start walking at 8 months. Some it takes a little longer. We know infants can learn and remember. Cognition is the mental activities involved in acquiring, retaining, and using knowledge. Piaget had different stages of development. Schema is an organized cluster of information about a particular subject. Assimilation is when we add new information to existing schemas, and accommodation is when we incorporate new information into our schema. There are 4 major stages: sensory motor, birth to 2. The infant explores the environment and acquires knowledge through sensing and manipulating. Pre-operational is 2 to 7. Increasing use of symbols and pre-logical thought processes. Concrete operational is 7 to adolescent. They can think logically about concrete objects and situations. Formal operational, adolescence through adulthood, they think logically about abstract principles. Theory of mind, you understand what others are thinking. Children with autism have a hard time reading faces. Vygotsky and the social child, children through their social environment learn. Criticism of Piaget is that children may learn quicker than he hypothesized. You can see if you can match them here. Harlow conducted an experiment with monkeys. He took them away from their mothers and raised them in a cage with a furry mother and a wire mother who fed them. They preferred the furry mother over the wire one and went on to not know how to nurture their own offspring. Children begin to fear strangers at about 8 months. Severe attachment is when children feel comfortable. Secure attachment is when children feel comfortable with their mothers. They play happily when their mothers are there. Insecure attachment is when you have unresponsive mothers. They had children who were insecure. Those were Erickson's stages of development. Authoritative parenting is best. You guide your children and let them make choices. You set clear boundaries, but are responsive to the needs of your child. All cultures raise their children differently. Nature versus nurture. We have biological, psychological influences, and sociocultural influences. Adolescence can be a hard stage for children. They are changing physically. Puberty is a period of sexual maturation. The brain is changing during puberty. The frontal lobes do not mature until they are about 23. This is why teenagers do not make good decisions sometimes. Piaget said they developed abstract thinking tools, teenagers. Kohlberg believed that the highest level of thinking was post-conventional. Neural development is guided by internalizing legal and moral principles that protect the rights of all. Michelle said, if you can delay immediate gratification, you will be more successful as an adult. Erickson said, adolescents are trying to figure out who they are. They're in the stage of identity versus role confusion. Peer groups become more important at this time. Parents do influence their children's belief system. Personality does play a role. Emerging adulthood. The young adult is looking for lasting relationships. Adulthood. The adult experiences unselfish concern for others. They are raising their own children. Match these, please. Adulthood, the adult experiences unselfish concern for others. They are raising their own children.